Competition Commission of India and KI International Academic Publishers. Please join us in a warm welcome for the Honorable Justice Retired Rajesh Tandon, the former Judge, High Court of Uttarakhand. As we begin with this auspicious event, that is the first international conference, it is my honor to invite a distinguished academic and a driving force behind this conference. Dr. Purva Singh Katiyar, the esteemed faculty member and the co-convener of this international conference. She has been instrumental in organizing this platform. And so I would like to request ma'am to please join us and deliver the introductory address for this event. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Leena ma'am. Good morning, esteemed guests, faculty members, and dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the first international conference on From Regulation to Responsibility, Legal, Environmental, Social, Technical, and Managerial Perspective of Businesses. Organized by Center for Corporate Law, Policy Research and Governance, School of Law, G.T. Goenka University, in association with Institutions Innovation Council and Underland International Academic Publishers. At the outset, on behalf of the organizer of the conference, I extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Justice Mr. Rajesh Tandon, former Judge, High Court of Uttarakhand, who has kindly consented to grace this occasion. This two-day international conference brings together scholars, practitioners, policymakers, industry experts to deliberate on the evolving responsibilities of the business in a complex global landscape. Across 6 thematic tracks, we aim to explore intersection of law, ethics, governance, environment, technology, and human values, moving beyond regulatory compliance toward a culture of responsibility and sustainability. Surely, the discussions over the next 2 days will inspire new and professional discourse on responsible business practices. Thank you everyone on enriching and inspiring conference ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am. To formally welcome our esteemed chief guest, Honorable Justice Retired Rajesh Tandon, and to set the tone for this landmark occasion, that is the first international conference, I have the privilege of inviting Dr. Ankita Sharma, Associate Professor and the convener of this conference, to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, Justice Retired Rajesh Tandon, sir, Dean ma'am, our faculty members, and all the students present here. On behalf of G.T. Goenka University, it is my honor and privilege to warmly welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the first international conference by the Corporate Law Center of School of Law. This conference comes at a significant moment in global legal and corporate discourse. Around the world, businesses are transitioning from a purely profit-driven outlook towards a model that embraces ethical governance, environmental stewardship, technological accountability, and social responsibility. This conference is organized by the Center for Corporate Law, Policy Research and Governance in association with the Institutions Innovation Council and Ministry of Education and Peter Lang International Academic Publishers envisioned this 2 days international conference that is in online mode. We are deeply honored by the presence of our chief guest, whose judicial wisdom and service to the nation inspire generations of legal scholars and practitioners. Over the next 2 days, this conference will deliberate on critical themes such as corporate governance and ethics, digital competition law, business and human rights, sustainability, ESG, and artificial intelligence, among other relevant issues. These discussions reflect the university's commitment towards producing research that not only informs academia, but also influences industry and public policy. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dean Ma'am, Dr. Anisha Shams, the organizing committee, faculty members, and all our collaborators for their hard work and dedication in bringing this event to fruition. With these words, I once again welcome you all and look forward to fruitful discussions, meaningful conversations and dialogues, and innovative ideas that will surely Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Moving forward, it is now the time for the presidential address, which is an integral part of the ceremony. We are deeply honored to have with us a dynamic leader and the pillar of the administrative excellence, a person whose vision and commitment continue to strengthen the academic and institutional fabric of GD Goenka University. I now have the privilege of inviting our esteemed Dean, Professor Dr. Anisha Shams, to deliver the presidential address for this first international conference. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Professor Dr. Anisha Shams with a huge round of applause.
Good morning. I don't know if it's actually getting good afternoon, I guess. That is the most respected Chief Guest of the day, Honorable Mr. Justice Rajesh Tandon, the coordinators of the day and the faculty coordinators, other student coordinators and students who are there as audience. We are supposed to have a president of the function. The registrar is not well. That is why he has taken leave. That is why I am here in this place for being the president of the function. It's a great honor to get host a guest like Honorable Justice Tandon, because the plethora of experience and the vast the kind of exposure that he has got law, that I always, as a law student, as a learner of law, always, at all times I used to look forward for that kind of expertise. That hearing them is very soothing feeling. That is, I do really want that my students get that experience of hearing people who's having so much wisdom and experience in the field of law, because that itself will work as a motivation for every student if they are really a law student. That's what my professors always make sure, that we always used to get a lot of guest lectures, invited talks and events like this, so that we get to see and know and hear from people who have got a lot of experience in the field of law. That itself makes us a lot of good learning that is not available in the textbooks and in classrooms. And the way they inspired me and the way they are going to you, they may be inspiring you, maybe they are going to inspire you, that nobody else can bring it in your life. That itself made me to think that I should be a law teacher at one point when I was in your age. This is why I find these kinds of events are very important. I used to find out, I try to bring people of these kind of experience, so that I am learning day by day from them. I use it at every point of time, whenever we are hearing a person who's having so much experience, we will be getting at least 3 life lessons, at least, and beyond that too. And along with that, we will be getting hell out of professional experience stories that cannot be given by anybody else. And I don't know how far as students you are serious about these things. In GD Goenka, in my last 4 months, what I am trying to do is actually, obviously, bring that exposure to my students so that they will start to enjoy the course. I am not seeing that there are too many students who are enjoying it now. Unless and until you are able to enjoy the course and enjoy your learning, unless and until you are not having an enjoyable learning, no teacher can teach you anything. That is for sure, because I never believed that we can teach anything. I always believe that you will have to learn. That learning will happen thereon. That is, we should have an open mind. We should be having that feeling that, oh, I'm learning something from here. I am not learning only from classrooms. In classrooms, whatever is happening is exam-based theories, that is, you will get a degree with marks and you will get a good mark list. But it's not going to help you in any way in your career. These kind of exposure and hearing people like Mr. Justice Tandon, these kind of people, hearing their expertise and whatever they are sharing, that always excites us. That gives us the privileged feeling that, oh, we all belong to the same fraternity. We belong to the family of law. And that feeling of being a privileged person, a law person, that itself gives you a passionate professional life. That's what I do believe. I am so happy that I got you on board, sir. That is our students. It's the privilege of our students and all of us that we get to hear you. That I do really believe that you will also enjoy the session. And I am really enjoying always I'm really enjoying the sessions like this. Thank you, the coordinators. They have done a amazing job till the moment. Rest of the things are yet to get explored, but I do believe that student coordinators, faculty coordinators, I don't know words to say because they were doing such a job, such an amazing job for last 2-3 weeks, and they are working hard like anything. And I can see that on their face, and I'm so happy that I'm being part of this team. Thank you so much, and we are eagerly waiting to hear him. I'm not taking much of the time. Have a great learning today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable thoughts and inspiring us. It is our great honor to now invite our chief guest to address the gathering. Honorable Justice. Honorable Justice retired Rajesh Tandonji is a distinguished legal luminary who served as a former judge of the High Court of Uttarakhand. His judicial career is marked by an unwavering commitment to upholding the legal principles and ensuring the justice. His deep understanding of regulatory and societal issues provides a crucial foundation which will surely inspire the generations of the legal scholars and practitioners alike. As a mark of our profound appreciation and esteem, we would like now to felicitate Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandonji with a token of love and respect from GD Goenka University family. I would like to request Professor Dr. Anisha Shah, School of Law, to kindly come forward and present the token of appreciation to the Honorable Justice retired Rajesh Tandon. Thank you so much, sir, for gracing the occasion. We would like now to invite the dignitaries to kindly proceed with the traditional lighting of the lamp. so much, everyone. We now humbly request Honorable Justice Rajesh Chatterjee to share his invaluable insights with us on this prestigious occasion. Sir, we would like to invite you, and we are deeply honored to have you amongst us.
I am thankful for the great privilege given to me by the GD Goenka University to meet with the students of law regarding this environmental issue. On the dais, Dr. Dinesh ji, Dr. Isha ji, all the faculty members and the students. Today we are celebrating the International Conference on Environmental Communication. Dear students, may I tell you one thing, that once upon you must have heard the name of Lord Denning, who was a great judge and author of the English Judge. He has said once that laws should be according to the society where we live. What was the emphasis for Lord Denning? That we can change the laws, we can adopt the laws, we can alter the laws according to the need of the society. For that purpose, I will just go to the long back of 1950, that is 26th of November 1950, when we have adopted our constitution. We are also approaching, that is the Law Day also coming on 26th of November. We are also in the month of November. It's a great pleasure that in the month we are discussing about the law. When this act was enacted, that this constitution was enacted, much emphasis was given on Article 14, 19, 21, and so many acts. Article 21 is an article which deals with not only equality of status, but also a living structure. That is the Article 21. Thereafter, large number of enactments have come. There was a Stockholm Conference in 1972, which has adopted the resolution for environmental factors. Now, environmental factors, although it is a part of Article 21 also, it is a part of Article 14 also. But giving much importance to the environment factor, the conference of the Stockholm Conference has adopted for environmental resolution completely. And India was also one of the party and signatory on that Stockholm Conference, who has adopted various resolutions from time to time on this environmental issue. After 1972, a new act has come up that is known as Protection of Human Rights Act. I hope you must have heard it. Protection of Human Rights Act. Section 2D of the Protection of Human Rights Act deals with, I will just illustrate before you, that is a comprehensive of Article 21 and also dealing with all environmental factors also. Section 2D relates human rights means the rights relating to the life. Life is such a word which not only talk about your living but also environmental factors. A good living of yours in a good environment, that is also a part of Article 21 and also part of Protection of Human Rights Act. I will demonstrate before you when the Supreme Court in several cases has held that Article 21 is also dealing with the environmental factors. Life, liberty, equality, and dignity of the individual. Main thing is the dignity of the individual. Dignity is to live in a proper atmosphere, to live in a proper environment. That is why this Protection of Human Rights Act has come up, that is life, liberty, equality and dignity of the individual. My emphasis on the dignity. Dignity is everything for you. Even preamble of the Constitution of India talk about that dignity, word dignity. If you see, the preamble are very necessary. What is talking? Fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual. That is coming up. Dignity of the individual, that is Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Therefore, Protection of Human Rights Act is further an elaboration of the human rights under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Therefore, life, liberty, and equality and dignity all are common factor, and dignity and life both are important in order to save from the environmental factors. I will tell you that for the environmental factors, Uttarakhand is leading. Right from 1985-86, people of Uttarakhand were aware about their rights of environment, which I will demonstrate before you that how the Uttarakhand was aware about this environmental factors. First of all, let us discuss about the constitutional aspect of the environmental factor. That is Article 48 of the Constitution of India. That deals with the environmental factors. That is, the state shall endeavor to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. The emphasis is on the improve the environment. That amendment has come up in the Constitution, that is 1977. Thereafter, another is that is Article 51 of the Constitution of India. That is Class G, to protect and improve the natural environment, including forests, lakes, rivers and wildlife. That is the important, 51G is the important in the Constitution of India. That talks about the natural environment, how to improve the natural environment. These are the basic principles of the environment and how to protect the environment. For that purpose, from time to time, the acts were enacted. Environmental Act, Pollution Act, all these acts for safeguarding the environmental factors. One of the judgment of the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court has emphasized the concept of water pollution, air pollution, building pollution, sewage pollution, and horse dung. Do you understand horse dung? Have you been anybody to Nainital? Yes. Have you seen the horse running from Tallital to Mallital? And horse dung is coming up, making a nuisance in the road itself. Then this matter came up before the Honorable Supreme Court. Supreme Court has emphasized that Nainital, a beautiful butterfly, is said to be turning into an ugly caterpillar. This is due to water pollution, noise pollution, and VIP pollution has naturally caused concern to all natural lovers and environmentalists. Apart from the enlightening the residents of Nainital, the concern has been felt to such an extent that Save Nainital workshop was organized by none else than the Department of Tourism and Environment of the UP government in this workshop, many papers were presented on different aspects, highlighting sudden rise in vehicle traffic. Vehicle traffic is a cause of nuisance, and that is environmental factor. Vehicle traffic, illegal constructions, encroachment and squatting, noise pollution, maintenance of drains, and pollution in the lake, which has virtually become a dumping ground of the public sewage. Therefore, entire environmental factors, they are considered by the Supreme Court. And for that purpose, has observed the environmental degradation has taken place because of increase in pollution, overgrazing, lopping, hacking of oak forests, fires, landsliders, pollution in the lake is because of both inorganic and organic causes. The discharge of wastewater in the lake, another polluting factor. The most pollution, as mentioned, is in these blockage of sewerage, and therefore the Supreme Court has directed that from Talli Tal to Malli Tal, the horse were shifted to another place. No on the roads so as to cause public nuisance, and also environmental factors, and from the judgment of this Honorable Court, Supreme Court, all the horses are not coming up in the road itself. Water pollution, air pollution, building pollution, and all that has saved. And therefore, the Dehradun, Uttarakhand, and Nainital, all are factors of environmental issues. Even in Dehradun, mines which we are running were stopped by the residents of Dehradun, and all those mining operations were stopped from time to time, which are coming up in the Dehradun. Now all mines have been stopped there. Under the Human Rights Act, there are conventions also known in the name of Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All those you students must have heard it. And Universal Declaration of Human Rights also talk about the life, liberty, and environmental issues on the life of the individual. The Supreme Court, in the case of Kapila Hingorani, that is of 2003, has referred about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, all those part of the Protection of Human Rights Act. Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 enumerates at least 27 broad rights, including the right to life, freedom from slavery and forced labor. The Protection of Human Rights Act 1993 defines human rights to mean the rights relating to life, liberty, equality, and dignity of the individual guaranteed by the Constitution or embodied in the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. These are the words of the Supreme Court on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. That is why I have said that originally that the Lord Denning has said that you have to adopt various laws from time to time, and all the laws are for the benefit of the society. What the Supreme Court has further said in this Kapila Hingorani's case, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the laws. And thereafter, the Supreme Court has said that basic needs of man have traditionally been accepted to be three: food, clothing, and shelter. Shelter is the environmental issue also. The right to life is guaranteed in any civilized society that would take within the sweep of right to food, right to clothing, and right to decent environment. This is the words of the Supreme Court. That right to decent environment. Environment is coming up from Article 21, Protection of Human Rights Act, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and all these are an examples of decent environment, which the Supreme Court has said that right to clothing, right to food, and right to decent environment and reasonable accommodation to live in. These are the factors of the environmental issue. The Supreme Court has further said on environment, in any organized society, right as a human being is not ensured by meeting only the animal needs of man. It is secured only when he is assured of all facilities to develop himself and is freed from restrictions which inhibit his growth. All human rights are designed to achieve this object. Then further Supreme Court has said, right to live guaranteed in any civilized society implies the right to food, water, and decent environment. Decent environment is the emphasis under Article 21, Protection of Human Rights Act and Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Education, medical care, and shelter. These are the basic human rights known to any civilized society. Right to shelter, when used as an essential requisite to right to live, should be deemed to have been guaranteed as a fundamental right as enjoyed in the directive principles, that is Article 51. The state should be deemed to be under an obligation to secure it for citizens, of course subject to its economic in a democratic society, and also have an environmental effect and see that the shelter is available under Article 51 and Article 21 of the Constitution. these are the norms set by the Honorable Supreme Court on the environmental laws. Various environmental laws have come up which have become a guiding factors. I remember the incident of Kedarnath of 2013, where due to environmental factors, everything was gone away. Cars, persons, Ganges, all those have been gone. And there was a complete deserted area. I was there as a judge of the Human Rights Commission of Uttarakhand, and I visited there. I have seen that everything was deserted completely. And thereafter, they have been given the rights to shelter and all that. And thereafter, these are all the environmental factors which not only affect the people completely deserted of Article 21 to live peacefully. That was the incident of Kedarnath. Now I also have gone through one of the professor of history of horticulture. He has 19वीं सदी से वास्तुकला औद्योगिकरण और शहरी विकास का हिस्सा बन गया है। इनसे धीरे धीरे पर्यावरण संकट पैदा हो गया है। उनकी प्राकृतिक सेटिंग से हिंसक तरीके से निकाले गए सामग्रियों ने भी भूमिका बनाई है। पहले लोहा, फिर स्टील, फिर कंक्रीट आया, जो पर्यावरणीय गुणवत्ता के मामले में एक समस्याग्रस्त सामग्री है। These are the things which have been observed by the authors of the historical events. Like these are the historical events, one has to make a control on it. Only then the feasibility of Article 21 will be there. I have also learned from Gita what Gita can give a training and learning for you. All the religions teach respect for nature. All the religions teach respect for the nature and the necessary balance of nature and spirit. The higher purpose of life is acquiring the qualities of the nature and the spiritual world. These are the words of Gita which we have to follow, that the nature is the best. That is a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. With these words, I inaugurate this conference, international conference. Many more lectures will come up and will guide you. But I want to give you one lesson that have on tips some important judgments of the Supreme Court. Just like right to travel, which is the judgment? Maneka Gandhi's judgment. All these things, being a students of law, you must have a tips on your tips. Because the time has changed up. Now CPC, CRPC is just a procedural law. Now all the laws are coming for your studies. Then right to privacy. It's a judgment of Khadak Singh's judgment. Right to primary education. That is the uniconstitutional judgment that provides that education is a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. All these things are there, and for the students, I will just say that please have a study of the laws which are coming up forthwith instead of CPC, CRPC that is there. Just like Information Technology Act, you must have a knowledge of the Information Technology Act in order to save yourself from the digital arrest. Daily coming up digital arrest, you have to save yourself from identity theft and all that. And therefore have a study of the Information Technology Act, which is coming up, that is 2000 from 2000. But now it has developed in the society because of all the digital arrest and all that. And now digital evidence has become a part of your choice also, syllabus also and all that. With these words, I will not take much time. I can speak to the whole environment, but I will just complete it. As I was late also, I feel sorry for it, but due to traffic and all that, that was also an environmental issue. Therefore, I may be excused for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your profoundly inspiring words and sharing your knowledge and experience, specifically emphasizing on the environmental laws, human rights, and the Constitution of India, specifically Article 14 and 21. We are deeply honored by your presence and guidance. We now call upon Dr. Apurva Singh Katiyar, the Assistant Professor and the Faculty Co-Convener of the conference, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Meena ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my privilege as the co-convener of the international conference to deliver the vote of thanks at the conclusion of this memorable inaugural ceremony. On behalf of Center for Corporate Law, I would like to express our deepest gratitude to all those who have contributed to make this inaugural ceremony a success. First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir Professor Dr. Dinesh Noy for his visionary leadership and constant encouragement. His continued support and guidance have been instrumental in motivating us to organize academic endeavors of this scale and impact. We are equally grateful to our Registrar, Professor Dr. Dhirendra Singh Parihar, for his kind cooperation, administrative support, and facilitation of all the institutional arrangements that made this conference possible. Our sincere appreciation goes to our Dean, School of Law, Professor Dr. Anisha Shams, whose dynamic leadership, academic insight, and unwavering encouragement have been the driving force behind this initiative. A very special note of gratitude to Dr. Ankita Sharma, Center Head and Convener of the conference, for her vision and meticulous planning. I would also like to acknowledge the valuable contribution of all the faculty coordinators and members of the organizing committee for their hard work, teamwork, and commitment that ensured everything ran smoothly. A special word of appreciation goes to our student conveners, co-conveners, members, and volunteers who have worked with a great dedication behind the scenes, from coordination and communication to managing logistics and hospitality. Your energy and sincerity truly embody the spirit of G.D. Goenka University. Once again, on the behalf of Center for Corporate Law, I express a sincere gratitude to everyone who has been part of this inaugural ceremony. Thank you all for your time and your insight. We look forward to the 2 days of fruitful discussion and academic exchange through this particular conference. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.
I just want all the student coordinators to come out and have a photo with please, the student coordinators, please come. So, no problem. It's fine.
कौन ले रहा है फोटो?